Alright, so I was scrolling through my Facebook memories yesterday, I believe, and I came across something that I posted about, and I was like, this would be a good story to tell on the channel, since I like to do my life stories, story time type videos every once in a while. When I come across one in my mind that I think people would be interested in hearing, or that at least I find entertaining. Um, so this is the story about the time I saved a man's life, or quite possibly saved a man's life. Um, Back in, I would say it was 2005-ish, 2006, I worked as a server at Lone Star Steakhouse and Saloon. And let me just tell you something about serving that you may not know. If you've ever seen the movie Waiting, it is almost an exact interpretation of what it's really like to work in a restaurant, to be a server, to be a cook, to be a dishwasher, to work in the kitchen. It's to be a bartender. It is. They fucking nailed it. That movie was definitely written by people who were actually servers or actually worked in the food service industry. If you haven't seen Waiting, go watch it. It's thoroughly comedic. It's really fucking funny. It's really good, entertaining. It's just great. So yeah, go check out Waiting, and you'll know what I'm talking about. If you've ever worked in the food service industry, you know that that movie fucking hit the nail on the head. I mean, down to like the stereotypical characters of each person in the restaurant. Like the bartender acts this way. There's the creepy like boss who like likes the younger girls in the restaurant. There's the the slutty hostesses, and there's the drug addicts, and there's the, like, I don't know if they put drug addicts in there. Oh, they did. They had the guys who, the dishwashers. But, in fact, it's more extreme than that movie paints it, to be honest. The partying every night after work as a crew, um, the cooks, how people react when someone comes in at the last minute. That movie's fucking fantastic. Anyway, go check out Waiting. That's not what this video is about. This video is about the time I maybe saved a guy's life. Okay, so we're in the kitchen, and it's like I've got a few tables at the time, and I'm waiting on an order or something like that. And one of the big rules that we're always getting shit about, especially me, was no grazing, which means no eating the food when you're on the clock. No, like, picking up french fries and eating them while you're on the job. You know, because there's like a big bucket of french fries, there's like a bucket of tortilla chips. Like, you could grab shit and eat, right? But that's a big no-no. You're not supposed to do it. However, I did it all the time, and so did a lot of people. But what was really, it was kind of ironic, okay? My boss comes walking in. I'm not going to say his name, because, like, I don't know. He's probably a decent enough guy, really. We didn't get along that well, and probably a lot of it had to do with me and being a fucking, you know, high most of the time, or drunk on the clock, like, just stuff I shouldn't have been doing. You know what I mean? I wasn't a model employee, and that probably had a lot to do with our relationship being a little strained. Anyway, this guy comes into the kitchen and does the cardinal sin. He starts eating french fries, right? He takes a bite of a french fry. I'm pretty sure it was a french. No. It was steak. It was steak. He takes a bite of steak, and a couple seconds later, the guy can't breathe. He is choking on this piece of steak, and not like coughing, like real choking. You know how people really choke, where they can't make sounds and they can't breathe? Like, not gagging, choking. The man was turning blue. He was going like this. He was freaking the fuck out. And that's what happens when you start to choke on, like, really choke on something, is you start to fucking panic because you can't breathe. Anyway, he's looking at anyone for help. He's turning all around. And like I said, it's ironic that the boss, who's always nagging people, telling them not to fucking graze, is choking to death because he's grazing. Right in front of everyone. Anyway, that's besides the point. He's choking. He's he's looking around anybody for help. There's probably 4 or 5 people around. There's 2 cooks, 3 cooks in the kitchen. There's me. There's another server or 2. There's the dishwasher. All seeing this happen. And the guy cannot breathe. He's freaking out. He's like going like this. He's saying to hit him on the back. He's just freaking the fuck out, right? No one is taking action. I take action. And I am in no way a fucking first aid expert or an expert on the Heimlich maneuver or how to fucking save someone that's choking, but I've seen fucking movies and I'm like, no one else is doing anything. I gotta fucking do something, right? So I get behind him and I attempt to do the Heimlich maneuver, which, you know what that is. This is where you get behind someone, you make a fist and you put it in their like sternum and you apply pressure, and you try to get them to cough up, you try to, get the air to push out whatever is stuck in their throat. But like I said, I'm no expert, but I'm doing something, and no one else is. So I'm like jamming my fist into this guy's stomach, basically, which is too low. You shouldn't be doing it that low. But like I said, I'm doing something, and I'm freaking out too. And I lift him up. It's like pure fucking adrenaline. This guy had at least 50 fucking pounds on me, probably like 80. And I'm like lifting him up in the air, and I'm trying to like get him to cough this thing up. I didn't even know what it was at the time. I didn't know what he was eating. But I like 2 or 3 times up in the air, and like I didn't know how to fucking do it, but I was trying. And he eventually, like, he falls to the floor, coughs up the thing, whatever it was. It was steak, a piece of steak. Coughs it up, vomits on the floor, breathing heavy, turns around and looks at me, and I'm like, are you all right, dude? And like I said, me and this guy didn't really get along, and I'm sure there's something about being a man and having to depend on another man to help you. In front of everyone, being helpless, like, it makes you feel a little vulnerable. And that's something, like, I can kind of relate with. Like, I get it. I get it. But his reaction to me was, like, I'm like, are you okay? Are you all right? He's like, yeah. And he walks away and he gathers his, gets his composure and whatnot and cleans up the mess and stuff. And he comes back and, he looks at me and he goes, you didn't even do that right. Clearly didn't know what you were doing. And I'm like, really? Like, I don't know what I was expecting. Maybe like a thank you, something. But that wasn't even necessary. He didn't even have to say thank you. It's like, I'm just glad the guy didn't fucking die right in front of me and everyone else. You know what I mean? And like, no one else was helping him, so I fucking helped him. Like, it was instinctual, really, to do something. But yeah, but he's right. I wasn't doing it right, but it was just, like, it was the fact that he would, like, that was his reaction. His reaction to me possibly saving his life was to insult my technique. Like, I was like, man, that is low. Like, that's really petty. Like, I know you don't like me, and I know we don't get along, and I know that you're embarrassed as hell, but, like, and at no point did he come back later and say, seriously, though, hey, like, thanks for doing something, because no one else was helping me. I almost died, Like, nothing. He never, and I don't know, that just, like, it just always confused me. Like I said, I get the feeling embarrassed or whatever, like, but never coming around, like, never coming back and saying thanks, or maybe not even, like I said, I didn't need thanks. It was just like, but he went above and beyond and decided to insult me for saving his life. Anyway, I just thought that was ridiculous. It's a story I'll never forget. I'm sure he'll never forget. It's probably forgettable to everyone else there because it didn't end in tragedy. But yeah, I just always thought that was crazy. I feel like, I don't know. Yeah, I'm a stereotypical man in a lot of ways, and I don't like asking for help and stuff like that. But, like, I don't know, to insult someone who helped you out, it seems, I don't know. I'd like to think that I wouldn't be that way. But that's why I'm not bringing up the guy's name, because like I said, I don't want to, like, this isn't to cast him as like a fucking asshole or anything. Like, I think he was just young and felt vulnerable and didn't know how to react, and shit happens like that. But just, I guess, I think maybe his reaction is the reason I will never forget this story. So anyway, that's my story of the time I quite possibly saved a man's life. And not only did I not get a thank you, but I actually got a, hey, you fucking did it wrong, dumbass. Like, yeah. Anyway, that's my story. If you enjoy stories like these where I just tell you about stuff that happened in my life, or if you enjoy my movie reviews or series reviews, or hearing me go on and on about pop culture and nerd shit and comic books and shit like that, subscribe for more, because that's what I do here. I just talk about whatever I feel like talking about. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.